We got a bass, y'all. We got one. Oh, yeah. It's a small one, but it's still something. Look at that thing. It's a real nice bass, actually. Oh, yeah. Come on in here. Loosen my drag up a little. Try to play the fish a little bit. Even the small bass are some nice fight, especially on small Zebco rod. You see this right here? Put a little flat. I do got pliers in my bag, but I think he should be all right. Here it is, right here. Oh, okay, buddy, calm down. Y'all, after we get this fish in, I'm gonna change up baits. Look at that. Oh man. Look at this nice bass. All I did just cast it out there, and now just waiting. And then I guess it was moving because of the wind current, and so then I felt a small little peck, and I thought it was the bluegill, and then that peck turned into a repetitive peck, like peck, 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 and then my line started getting tight and tighter. Hook set it, caught the bass. I wish I got the hook set on camera, but I actually turned the camera off, and literally first cast after I turned it off, he destroyed it. Try to get the hook out. But so during the fall, it's gonna be, and that is, it is entering fall now, sort of. When it really gets fall, you're gonna really be wanting to use a drop shot. Okay, here the hook right here. We got it out. We got a very nice bass, largemouth bass. Get him in the water. Last look before we get him in. Hopefully he survives. There he is, and he's still here. Okay. He's still there. Just gonna get my bait back out in the water though real quick, if I can. But yeah, I just cast it about right. No, I didn't cast right there, but I cast it more to the right. That was my first. And I didn't even have to cast it out, really. I mean, I did, but I didn't have to really move. I didn't move it at all, literally. I'm gonna show y'all what I did. Look, another bass jumping. Okay. This is where I casted it. I casted it out right there. What's happened was I just held my line and I just watched it. And within like 10 seconds, first tap, boom. And then like a second later, tap, tap, tap. And what I think what caused the fish to strike it, not only because it looked like a minnow, but also because, you know, I don't know if you can see, but the wind is heading west, which means it's heading to my left. So that's another one of the reasons why I cast it over there, mainly because the wind was heading to the opposite direction. And so now the way you want to move the bait, you don't want to move it all hard like that. Because what's gonna happen when you do that is you're gonna move the bait and the weight, and you don't want to move the weight. You want that bait to stay in its position, suspended right there. So what you're gonna really want to do in order to move the bait, and you also don't want to move it with your rear bar really. Then you're just gonna all you're gonna want to do is just have a little slack in it and just move that rod tip. Move that rod tip. All right, I'm back, guys. I just changed my leader, not the leader, but I just changed the depth. Now it's a lot longer. And so now as I was doing that, a bass just struck, well, it didn't eat it, but a bass just struck at a, okay, so a bass just struck, or at least tried to strike at a dragonfly to my left, and right where I just cast it at, a bass struck at a dragonfly, and then more to my right, maybe about right there, a bass struck at a dragonfly. So I think the dragonfly lure could be something today, but I'm not gonna go and use it. I'm gonna stick with what I'm using, and yeah, I just hope for a bass or a catfish or bluegill. Now, when a bass does strike this bait, since it's open, well, I already told y'all, but When it's open fish, you don't need to hook set hard. Just a quick little snap of the rod is gonna hook them. Especially if your hook is very sticky and sharp, that's really all you're gonna do. Another bass jumped all the way out there. So another thing that I like to do when I fish a drop shot, I like to just give it some little movement and then stop. And I stop and I just let that bait sit there for 10 seconds. And if there's a fish that wants that bait, he'll come and strike at it. And also, as you're moving the bait to get that bait to move, as you're popping your rod tip like this, what's also going to happen is you might get a strike. And when you get that strike, you can hook set the fish. And if you have turtles in your lake like I do, a minnow bait probably wouldn't be so good for you anyway, and mainly because since turtles eat fish. I just got bit. It was like small pecks, but I think it was maybe a bluegill. I'm gonna move it. Cast right back over there and just let it sit there and see what happens. And I'm actually gonna cast my Z-Man TRD in the same area, because if it is a bluegill and he struck at that, he might strike at this and I might be able to catch him. Alright, I can really just cast it and let that sit there. Oh yeah, something's hitting it. Got him. Oh, that was a fish. It was a bluegill. I saw the bite. I'm gonna cast right back over there. The way I knew he hit it, I just casted it out and I just set it there. And then I knew I wasn't really moving it, so I just saw my line go out fast. I saw my line like just jump straight real fast forward. And I think this could definitely be a good drop shot bait as well. Or a regular small Z-Man TRD. I think that could definitely be a good drop shot bait because it's small. Yeah, it's small. It's thin. And it's not really a lot of action into it. And sometimes that could be what a bass want. Hooked up with a bass. No, he just came off. Well, guys, I just got hooked up, but I got myself caught in this tree. So in order for me to really get my bait out there, what I have to do is I have to pitch it out there. And I keep getting it. Okay, hold on real quick, guys. So this is what I did. I pitched it out there. Oh, I pitched it to my okay, I didn't pitch it right there, but I pitched it like to the left. And then as that bait was sitting there, a small bass hit it. I hook set it and he was on there. But when I hook set it, I guess I raised my rod too high. And then he came off. And what happened was when I hook set it, my line got caught up in the tree limb, so I wasn't able to really hold. I mean, I wasn't really able to keep tension upon a fish, and that's why he came off. I'm hooked up, y'all. I think I caught the fish finally now. All right. Oh yeah, here he is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here he is right here. Guys, I didn't even know he was on there. Because at first, when I casted it out, I waited 15 seconds. Oh, yeah. And then after those 15 seconds were up, I just moved it. Well, not moved it. But I just jiggled it a little bit. I didn't do it too aggressive. And then I waited. And then I waited like maybe 6 or 7 seconds. And then I jiggled it harder. Like more aggressive. And then I stopped it. And then when I was about to jiggle it again, I felt pressure. And then I just started reeling in, and then he was hooked. Here he is. I think this is the fish that I just lost as well. So we're gonna go ahead and release him in the area where we can see him, where you guys can see him go off at. We're gonna release him right here. I'm probably just gonna check him out here. Here we go. He's gone. They're gonna be going after your drop shot bait. If you fish, if you do fish minnow bait, they're gonna be going after it. So, but if you have deep water, cast it to those deep areas, because most of the time, depending on how deep that deep area is for you, most of the time turtles aren't gonna be in the deep area, because they're gonna need some oxygen, because unlike fish, turtles can't stay underwater all day every day. So my bait, oh my gosh, a dragonfly was flying off and a bass went after it. I just saw the whole thing. And the thing is, you also don't want to overwork the bait. You don't want to be putting a lot of movement in your bait, because that could get a fish uninterested. Just a little bit of movement will get you a bite. When you're fishing in cover, you might want to either Texas rig it or just hide the hook point in the bait.